Today I am going to show you how to make a snowman with twine, and I do not use Mod Podge. I use the cheap school glue. It cost me 25 cents. And I pour in a pretty good portion of glue, and then I have water in my Coca-Cola bowl because I am so far away from the sink and I don't feel like running out there every other 5 minutes. So I just pour some in and, mix it around pretty good. You want it fairly thick, but, not ridiculous, but you want it fairly thick. And this is so much cheaper than using Mod Podge. Because of the Mod Podge, you can get the small bottles at the Dollar Tree for $1, but I can get a bigger bottle of glue for 25 cents, and I can probably get 3 snowmen out of 1 bottle of glue. So here's my mixture. It could be a little bit thicker, but it doesn't have to be. It's going to stick. And it's going to soak into the twine, and the twine will stick to the balloon. You're going to blow up a balloon, and we're going to feed the twine around the balloon to make a circle, and then you just let it dry. So I have these drugstore glue, 25 cents. My sticks from the Dollar Tree, the small ones I just use for mixing. And you can see my table is a big mess. I don't have a lot of room in here. I'm kind of confined to this room because of things that happened in my house that, someday I'll go into detail, but not right now. Anyway, my balloons are 25 cents, or $1, from the Dollar Tree. I picked up a couple packages for an engagement party, or a wedding party, for my son, and we ended up not using them. It was so windy, we didn't have anything to connect them with. So, having shown you how I mix the glue in the water, and you just want kind of a medium thickness. You don't want it to just like run. You want it to drip. And then you're going to take that, and you're going to unravel some twine in there. I roll mine around in a circle and leave one end out. That way I can pull it out as I go, and you will never have it tangle because it just runs out the exact same way that you put, or the opposite way that you put it in, but it runs out really well. So I will show that in my next video. Hello again. So I'm put more glue in here, and I know you can't tell by the video how thick it is, but it's a lot thicker than it was, even though it runs off there. It's about the consistency that's good. You don't want to make it too thin because then you'll have to go back over your balloons, which is what I'm going to have to do with the ones that I just made. But I'm going to show you how to do the twine. Just pull a bunch of it out. And I'm not going to make you watch me put it all in there, but you're going to take your stick, you're going to put it down in there, and then you're just going to roll it. Just roll it around. I don't have a measurement for you. If you make too much, it will set. You just cut off your twine where you use it, what you need of it, and it stays. Just put a lid on it, and it'll stay until your next project. Because mine, I had some in this little thing here, and it is still wet. And that was from 2 or 3 weeks ago, so it does work. Love. That's for my daddy. He had it on his fingers. And my first tattoo actually was SpongeBob. And the next one was the love. The SpongeBob was really for my kids because they just loved SpongeBob. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and continue to just put this in until I'm out of fluid. It'll start to soak up, and you'll see as you go. And then when I'm done, I will start the video back up. Okay, so I wound my yarn into the glue water mixture, and I just want to say the last one I did not get thick enough, so add more glue. I mean, it always kind of runs off of the stick, but anyway, so I let these soak in here. It was about an hour because I went out and fixed supper. So anyway, let me get this where you can see it. I have two balloons. I have this balloon and a smaller balloon, and they're going to go together to make a snowman. So how big you make them, it's completely up to you. But if you notice on this smaller one, it's shaped funny. Shaped more like the Goodyear blimp. Well, anyway, here, because it's a 12-inch and you need a little bit smaller, it's really loose here and it causes it to bump out. So, and I can't stress this enough, when you wrap your twine around these, make sure they are super tight. I added a fresh sheet of parchment paper because this is very messy, and that might be why not too many people do these, is because it really is a mess. My hands get gross and everything, but I love the end result. So, okay, so it's going to drip, it's going to get gooey, but here we go. So, I always go around the tip of the balloon and then go over it like a cross, like an X. I hope you can see this. It's pretty dark in this little room, and I apologize, my workspace is very small. I'm kind of in a room that used to be a porch on this house. We do have more rooms, but this house is, I won't get into major details, but this house is pretty haunted for me, so I don't go into the spare rooms anymore. So anyways, when you wrap around, you see at the bottom, you need to pull it tight. And no matter how many times I do this, and I pull it as tight as I can, I always end up with a loose string. Always. So this is going to get slippery and you're going to lose your grip on the knot in your balloon here, but just do your best. You know, I go over, try to go evenly around the balloon, pull it tight. I mean, oops, see, that's what happens. I pulled it too tight and it slid off, and it's just sticky as could be. Anyway, pull. When you get to the top, pull it on your way up to make sure that it stays tight. Turn your balloon around and just keep going around. If you get too slippery, I keep what I call butt wipes in here. They are baby wipes. Oh, and I'll switch and go around to this side of the balloon, knot also. So I go on both sides. Anyway, I keep the diaper wipes or butt wipes, whatever you call them. Boy, this isn't working out real good for me. My parchment paper keeps sticking. Okay. It's gonna work, I know it. Alright, anyway. Diaper wipes. Might help to have a couple of them out before you get started. But just keep going around and around any which way you can. if you want. Anything that works, you know, honestly. And also the amount that I put in here is just until my glue is pretty much absorbed up. I mean, I have a little bit of extra here, but I mean, that's great because you're going to need it. But remember, you can always add more twine to this. See, I always end up with a loose one. Always. But you always add more twine, and you can definitely always add more glue. So if it doesn't work out the first time, don't give up. Do it again. And put some more glue or whatever you need to do. Okay, so at some point now, we have to start going around the other way, kind of crossing. This is where I end up with loose ones every single time, but you have to do it. I mean, it's not going to work out well if you don't. So, and you notice how my twine is just coming out of the bowl because I wound it down in there so that it just comes out in the same circle. So, okay. So anyway, just start crossing, making it tight as you can around opposite directions. We want the whole balloon covered, not the whole balloon, but we want it in. And see here where I crossed. If you're not careful, that's going to come loose, but you have to do it to get around, you know, to circle the other way. So anyway, just keep doing this. And eventually you'll have all these big, see these big gaps I have, you want all these to be, look at all this extra I got here, and that is great because you need that. Anyway, so eventually you will get around all of the gaps, and it'll look really good. Let's see. And the end result, like I said, is so worth it. Put up with all this goo. Okay, so what we're gonna do is try to flip around again. Cover some of these bare spots. The tighter the better, but it's really hard. It's really hard to get tight. Stay tight. Just do your best. See, starting to cover up the bare spots here. So you want to just go around a few times. You don't want to keep them, you don't want to have them in the same spot because this is going to make up your snowman body. So, in order to add whatever you're going to add to it, nose or arms, buttons, whatever, you have to have something there to attach it to. So we just don't want a lot of bare spots. So just kind of move your balloon around as best you can and fill in these bare blank spots. So you see how messy I am. You see this is so disgusting. But this is how we do it. So I'm almost out of twine, so I really want to make sure that I get the holes. So here we go. Almost at the end, which is great. Because you get tired of this after a little minute. So once we get to the end, we're just going to stick this up underneath wherever we can and just kind of wrap it around a little bit so you don't have an open end. So anyway, there you go. It's not bad. If you think you have holes that are too big, just go back in with a little bit more twine. I could use some here, you see, so I'm going to do that. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and do the head, and when I come back on, I'll show you how I do the rest.